they regret it. And I know that for a fact. Those are the words of Sergio Pérez. Calm, measured, and yet unmistakably direct. He's not shouting, he's not dramatic. But make no mistake, he's just set fire to the very team that cast him aside. Only a few months have passed since Red Bull let Checo go at the end of 2024, and from where he's standing now, the aftermath is nothing short of a disaster. Liam Lawson couldn't survive more than 2 races without imploding. Yuki Tsunoda, called in as the backup, has only managed 7 points. Red Bull has gone from a ruthless, double-barreled F1 machine to a one-man operation clinging desperately to Max Verstappen. And now, Checo's had enough of being the scapegoat. He says Red Bull is finally confronting the truth they never wanted to admit. They got it wrong, horribly wrong. According to Perez, this isn't some emotional outburst. The regret? It's real. It's internal, and it's coming from deep within the team. He says someone still on the inside has confirmed what he suspected all along. They made the call under pressure. Pressure they themselves created. And now, they're feeling the consequences. But Checo isn't just pointing at results or driver stats. He believes Red Bull's unraveling started long before the driver swaps, when the team's very foundation began to weaken. First came the shock departure of Adrian Newey. Then Jonathan Wheatley quietly exited. And eventually, Daniel Ricciardo was shown the door. Key figure steam, anchors removed, one by one. And what filled their shoes? Systems and decisions that just haven't delivered. The structure that once held Red Bull together, it's come undone. So now we have to ask, did Red Bull miscalculate by letting Checo go? Or are we simply watching the collapse of a once untouchable empire from within? And if you're enjoying this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got more F1 breakdowns coming, and what Perez reveals next just might make you rethink everything you thought you knew about Red Bull racing. To be clear, Sergio Pérez isn't angry. He's not ranting. He's not here for drama. But he's also not pretending everything is fine. Because since his departure, Red Bull has been sliding downhill fast. After letting him go, they bet big on Liam Lawson, hoping youth and raw talent would spark something new in that second seat. But the experiment fell apart immediately. 2 races, 0 results, no rhythm. And before the dust could even settle, Lawson was pulled, and Tsunoda was pushed in. That hasn't gone any better. 8 races, just 7 points. Meanwhile, Red Bull has dropped to 4th in the constructors' standings, jaw-dropping 212 points behind McLaren. And here's the kicker. Of the 162 points Red Bull has earned this season, Max Verstappen alone has scored 155. Red Bull, a team built on dominance and dual threat shots, turned into a one-man army. And now, Checo is done holding back. He's saying the thing everyone's been whispering behind the scenes. He wasn't the problem. According to Perez, the shift started with the car itself. The car started changing, he reveals. It became more and more tailored to Max's driving style. And whenever I brought up issues, it felt like nobody really listened. Later on, people were like, Checo was right. But by then, the decision was made. That's a raw, unfiltered confession. For over a year, Perez was painted as the weak link. The reason Red Bull couldn't dominate every weekend. But now, with Tsunoda and Lawson both struggling to make a dent, that narrative is falling apart. So was that second seat doomed from the start? Or was it simply never meant for anyone but Max? Let us know in the comments. Was Checo unfairly blamed? Or is this just what happens when you're not Verstappen? And if that wasn't enough, Perez goes even deeper. He connects Red Bull's decline to something far more systemic. He says the real trouble started not with driver performance, but when Adrian Newey walked away, we had a great team. It slowly fell apart. But it really was something special. And that's why it hurts. When Adrian left, that's when the problems really started. This isn't just nostalgia speaking. It's a targeted critique of Red Bull's leadership. Adrian Newey wasn't just a design mastermind, he was the calm in the storm. The engineer who knew how to steady the ship when emotions ran high. Take him out of the equation, and suddenly, the entire organization starts to wobble. Then came Jonathan Wheatley's exit, the sporting director, who had long served as a balance to Christian Horner's power within the garage. Now, Verstappen is out front with 0 support, and leadership is scrambling to hold things together, and it doesn't stop there. Even Christian Horner's judgment is being questioned, cutting Ricciardo, overhauling the driver academy, and even clashing with Helmut Marko over junior driver promotions. Inside and out, Red Bull is facing scrutiny like never before. It's become a political minefield. And Perez? He's watched it all unfold from the outside. It's a quiet statement, but one with weight. Perez isn't asking for an apology. He's just making it clear. Red Bull broke something they might not be able to fix. And the numbers back him up. Since his departure, Red Bull's second car has contributed less than 5% of the team's total points. Their constructors' hopes are gone. Their image as an unstoppable, force-cracked. So now the question is, do they double down and ride it out with Tsunoda? Or will they admit they've made a string of mistakes that go far beyond the number 2 driver? Checo Perez may be out of the paddock, but his shadow still looms large over Red Bull's unraveling empire. But he's not done talking, and he's definitely not done racing. Not if he can help it. Don't let the calm tone fool you. Beneath the surface, beneath every measured word and polite deflection, there's something building. Perez wants more than a comeback. He wants to send a message. Things are about to change. I don't want to end my career like this. He said, I've been very fortunate with the career I've had, but I know I still have more to give. And now he's linked to the most mysterious and potentially game-changing project on the 2026 grid Cadillac the Andretti. Cadillac entry is still fighting for full factory acceptance, but in the background, talks are accelerating. And according to reports, Perez is one of their top targets. What he brings goes way beyond racecraft. He brings brand gravity, sponsorship muscle, and a fan base that stretches across continents for Cadillac. That's the launch pad they need. You won't hear it in the press, but behind the scenes, Checo's already deep in discussion. It's going well. Confirmed. It's still early, but as things progress, I'll be able to make a final decision. I'm in no rush. The tone is quiet, but the message is clear. Because comebacks hit harder when no one sees them coming. And let's not ignore the subtext. Cadillac is American. F1's future is increasingly American. And Red Bull, despite the branding, they're losing grip on both performance and perception. If Cadillac gives Checo a seat, and he comes back competitive, even semi-consistent, the narrative flips. The guy Red Bull cut could end up being the one who helps launch F1's newest powerhouse team. Actually, would you back Checo at Cadillac in 2026, or do you think he's better off retiring with dignity? Let us know in the comments. We are curious to know your opinions, but here's the twist. No one's talking about Checo's eyes might be on the future, but his words keep circling back to Red Bull and what they lost. They made the decision under pressure. Pressure they helped create, and now they regret it. I know that from a very reliable source. That's the quote. That's the needle in the eye. Because even if Red Bull never admits it publicly, even if Christian Hurst stands at every podium with a smile and a soundbite, Checo's letting everyone know the truth leaks the whispers inside. Milton Keynes have reached him, and they're not proud, whispers this move. Feels personal, intentional, like the next piece in a larger plan. He knows what it means to be scapegoated, to be written off, to be blamed for not adapting to a car that was never built for him, and now that the same car has left everyone else struggling. He's not saying, I told you so. He's saying, I knew you would. And maybe most revealing of all, Checo still praises Max Verstappen openly. Max deserves everything. He's incredible. People don't understand how good he really is. That kind of quote, that's intentional, that's surgical. It separates the driver from the team. It lets Checo support the man while keeping pressure on the machine that tried to push him out quietly. So where does this leave us? Red Bull unraveling a solo act, leaning harder than ever on Verstappen. A bench of drivers that's gone from bold to desperate in just 8 races, and a leadership core losing pieces faster than they can replace them. Sergio Pérez, calm, calculated, and connected, a free agent in name, only already in motion for 2026, already controlling the narrative. The fans watching a rare Formula One drama where the guy who was cut might actually win the breakup. So, what do you think? Did Red Bull make a fatal mistake letting Checo go? And if Cadillac lands him, is that enough to change the 2026 grid drop? Your thoughts in the comments. There's more happening off the track than most fans realize.